Shalom, 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 shalom. As always, first I want to give all the praises and the glory to Yahweh, Vahasham, Yahweh Shai, Vahasham, Rakah Kodash. Yahweh is the Most High's name. Yahweh Shai is the Son. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Great Millstone, our teachers, our leaders in this truth here amongst the brethren. Shalom, shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect brothers and sisters of the house of Israel. So, Europe's central bank president reveals digital euro will have control limits. Europe's central bank president reveals digital euro will have control limits. Now, before I play this video, to give a quick backstory on what I'm about to show you. So, the ECB is the European Central Bank. The lady you see on the screen is the president of the European Central Bank. That's like how you have the president of the Federal Reserve in America. The Federal Reserve Bank is that I forget her name, that ish woman. And then you've got the president of the European Central Bank, which is like its counter. Her name is Christine Lagarde. Now, she recently, a couple of weeks ago, she fell victim to a prank call, all right? And during that prank call, prank, P-R-A-N-K, you know when someone makes a prank on you, they pretend to be someone else? Well, during that prank call, the caller pretended to be Zelensky, all right? Pretended to be Vladimir Zelensky, the Ukrainian president. So, and during that call, she unwittingly revealed secrets that the European Central Bank digital currency, the CBDC, which is going to be the forerunner for the mark of the beast, the microchip, that the digital euro will have control limits on what you can buy and what you can sell. She said that we're considering whether very small amounts, anything in the range of 300 to 400 euros, could have a mechanism on it where there is zero control. Right? She was saying that she wants it to have control, not zero control. She doesn't want the mechanisms for it to have zero control. She wants it to have control. They're also bringing in the European Union in Europe. They're bringing in a cap, right, for all the member states. A cap for all the member states that they can only spend 1,000 euros in cash anywhere in Europe. If you try to spend more than 1,000 euros in cash, you will go to prison. So the European Union has imposed restrictions also on anonymous crypto assets, right? Anything that transfer over 1,000, you go to jail. This is a new law they brought in. Now you're going to hear her speak on this in this prank call that she thought she was talking to Vladimir Zelensky, the Ukrainian president. And she's going to reveal what Europe have got planned. And remember what I said, the CBDC is the backbone, is the forerunner for the microchip, all right? Digital currency. So listen to what she says. I'm going to play the video. This is her. She thinks she is talking to the Ukrainian president, Zelensky. She doesn't know that this is a prank call. And this is the only way you get these truths out of these people, when they think they're speaking in confidence, in that conversation she thought was a confidential conversation between her and Zelensky. So listen to this is part of it I'm going to play. It was a 20-minute phone call. I'm only going to play about 5 minutes of it. All right. So listen to what she says.
Okay, let's stop to talk about sad things. I'm really glad to see you, and I see you, and I'm glad to see a smart woman at this position, and I think that you're pretty nice. I have a question about. I'm also a good user of electronic money. So my question, you're introducing the electronic euro, as I know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
How can switching to an electronic currency help?
Well, two things. Number one, it will be decided in October. So we are preparing the ground. We want to be ready. We want to be trained, but it will not be decided until October 23.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm personally convinced that we have to move ahead is a situation like the one we are in now. We are dependent on the supply of gas by a very unfriendly country. I don't want Europe to be dependent on an unfriendly country's currency. For instance, I don't know, the Chinese currency, the Russian currency, the whatever. Or dependent on a friendly currency, but which is activated by a private corporate entity like, Facebook or like Google or anybody like that.
I'm a user of Bitcoin too, so I had bought it when it started, and I hope that it also will work through the special system. And I know there are many protests in Europe against the electronic euro. What is the reason?
It's the beauty of Europe. It has different positions. If you ask in Northern Europe, for instance, in the Netherlands, they're quite happy to see the e-euro coming. If you ask a young German man, he'll say, yeah, fine.
The e-euro is the digital euro that she's referring to. Right? She's talking about the digital euro. That's what the e-euro is. All right? So listen to what she says.
As I said, I don't want Meta, Google, or Amazon to suddenly come up with a currency that would take over the sovereignty of Europe.
Right, because the central banks are going to take over the complete control of the money supply in a digital form throughout the world. But the main economies around the world are going to be the first ones implementing this. And Europe is going to be one of the forerunners when it comes to implementing the CBDC. But listen to what she says.
I don't want a foreign currency to become the currency of trading within Europe. So we have to be ready.
No, the problem is they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to.
Yeah, but you know what? Now we have in Europe this threshold above 1,000 euros. You cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the grey market. You take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But
did you hear that? She said in Europe, we have a new law where you cannot spend more than 1,000 euros in cash. If you are, you're on the grey market, which means the blacklisted, or you can be fined, or you can go to jail. Now they are also considering bringing that limit even lower. So at the moment, you can't spend more than I didn't even know this. You can't spend more than 1,000 euros in cash in Europe. It's a criminal offense. This is how they're going to get rid of cash. All right, listen to her again. Listen to her say it again.
But now we have in Europe this threshold above 1,000 euros. You cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the grey market. You take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely.
The digital euro will have a limited amount of control. She went, you're right, it will have control. That's what she said, right? Now, we go back to Revelations 13, right? When we always bring that scripture out, because this is the forerunner for what's coming. The digital currency is going to be the backbone. This is what needs to be in place before the microchip can come. And what does the Bible say? Revelations 13 and 16. And it causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, a microchip, that no man might buy or sell, say he that has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of the name might buy or sell. So the restrictions now, you can't spend more than 1,000 euros in cash. It's a criminal offense in Europe. They're going to drop that limit even lower. Just like what she said there. Let's continue playing. Let's listen to what she says.
If you do, you are on the gray market. You take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But you know, the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely right.
We know we're right. We know there's going to be control. And this is the forerunner. This has to be in place for the microchip to be in place. Is money has to go digital. And she's right. She said that we know that you're going to take control. That's the whole point. Revelations 13 and 16. Listen to what she says.
We are considering whether for very small amounts, you know, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
Did you hear what she said? She said that we could have a limited or zero control on transactions between up to about 300 or 400 euros. But then she said that will be dangerous because the terrorists in France were using credit cards where they could transfer 300 small amounts of money, 300 to 400 euros onto it without being traced. Now, I've always told you that these devils are going to create some kind of 9/11 event. They're going to look to that type of 9/11 event to implement the microchip. They're going to say, this is why you have to have the chip, because of terrorism. This is what she just said there. She's saying that the reason they're looking to drop the limit on she's looking to drop the amount that you're allowed to use in cash. At the moment, the law, they brought in a law in Europe, it's 1,000 euros. It's the most you can spend, 1,000 euros in cash. They're looking to lower that completely to less than 300 euros, right? Because she's saying the reason why is because the terrorists in France, when they had the shooting in France in 2015, they was transferring small amounts of money on credit cards. Listen to what she says. Listen carefully to what she says. They're going to use a terrorist argument to bring in the microchip, I'm telling you. They're going to use they're either going to create a 9/11 event or they're going to use a 9/11 event to bring it in, to enforce it. For those that don't want to take it voluntarily. Watch and see, that won't queue up to take it. Listen to what she says again. Listen carefully to what she says.
Whether for very small amounts, any court, you are fined or you go in jail. But the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely right.
There will be control. You're right. You're completely right. Listen up.
We are considering whether for very small amounts, anything that is around 300, 400 euros.
So we're considering for any small amounts, anything around 300 and 400 euros. Listen on.
We could have a mechanism where there is zero control.
She said we could have a mechanism where there is zero control, where there isn't any controls. But this is the but now. She says now, listen to the excuse why they don't want to do that. why they want to have control on the small amounts. She says, but listen to the devil.
But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France by...
Hear that? But that could be dangerous. She's referring to the terrorist attacks which happened in France in 2015. Listen to what she says.
10 years ago, were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
Was totally financed by those small credit cards that you could recharge without any tracking. That's what she said. So this is what they're going to use. They're going to use a terrorist argument.
Terrorist attacks on France, 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
Mhm.
Total anonymity. So this is what they're going to take from you, right? Is your anonymity. They're not going to allow you to have any anonymity, any... What does the Bible say? He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that he can't buy or sell, right? That no man can't buy or sell, say he that has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So they don't want you to be able to do anything in anonymity, in secret, anything. Everything you buy or sell, they want to know about it. All right, it's as simple as that. That's what she's telling you. Everything they buy or sell. Everything she's telling you. But this is the backbone.
You know that the question is now I think that it's a joke, like a joke, that the next currency will be firewoods for you.
He said the next currency will be firewood. This is what the host is saying, right? Listen to what she says. She doesn't understand, but this is what he's going to tell you what he means.
Europe.
Will be what?
Firewoods. Fire.
He said the next currency of Europe will be firewood, all right? What he's referring to is the Weimar Republic. Look it up. The Weimar Republic, W-E-I-M-E-R Republic in Germany. Look it up.
Firewoods. To hit the
Yeah.
So it's like a joke. It's like a joke from Russian side. That
Well, they can get lost.
They can get lost, you said. And so the next European currency will be firewood, basically saying worth nothing. So she was revealing all of this information on a call that she thought that she was taken from the Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky. But it was a prank call that called her to pretend that they was Zelensky, to get her to reveal this information about the CBDC, the digital euro, and about its control limits, and how they're going to, the limit right now is £1,000 you can spend in cash in Europe, and they're looking to bring it literally down to 200 to 300 euros, because they want to track and trace everything that you can buy or sell. This is the backbone. This is the, what do they call it? This is the forerunner for all what's going on. So she was, as she said, I've got, let me just switch this here. Sorry, I'm going to bring out some precepts here. This was the call she got. ECB, European Central Bank Lagarde, gets pranked because she didn't know it was a prank call. She reveals digital euro will have limited control. She thought she was talking to the real McCoy. This is the devil here. She looked like the woman from 101 Dalmatians, right? That's the witch there. That's the demon there, Christine Lagarde. She used to be the head of the IMF, International Monetary Fund, this devil. And this is what she did. She fell victim to a prank call in which she unwittingly revealed that Europe's central bank digital currency, the digital euro, will have a limited amount of control. In the video prank, last month, which is this month basically, a prankster impersonating Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky had a conversation with Lagarde. That's what they did. So the fast facts. So we're considering whether for very small amounts, anything that is around 300 to 400 euros, which you just said, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control, but that could be dangerous, she said, Lagarde, recalling a previous terrorist attack in France that was believed to be financed by rechargeable and anonymous credit cards. They're going to use these terrorist events, or they're going to create a new 9/11 event to bring in the microchip. So they're showing you the route that they're going, right? They want to be able to track. At the moment, it's 1,000. They want to bring it down to. They want to bring it down to 300 euros. It says the cap is lower in some member states of the EU, such as 1,000 euros in France and Italy. The region also imposes restrictions on anonymous crypto assets transfers over 1,000 euros. It says Lagarde also said in the video that the decision on the digital euro is expected to be made this October. They're there. And we know the decision is going to be, yes, this is where we're going. It says the prank call and its resulting revelations come amid a large discussions about the CBDCs and the role they may play in the future of global finance, where some see CBDCs as a way to modernize and streamline financial systems, the New World Order. This is how they see it, the elites. Others have expressed concern about the potential for government overreach and loss of privacy. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I actually saw that speech, who recently filed to run for the US president in 2024 as a Democrat, shared his concerns on the CBDCs. But they're all part. Kennedys, they're all part of the elites. They're all part of it. They always have one on the left side, one on the right side, one to say something good, one to say something bad, one for you, one against you, you know, protagonist, antagonist. These guys control both sides. That's what you must understand. A CBDC, central bank digital currency tied to digital ID and what? And social credit score, like what they got in China, will allow the government to what? To freeze your assets or limit your spending to approved vendors if you fail to comply with arbitrary diktats, i.e., vaccine mandates. That's what they're going. This is what they're coming to do. It's going to be tied to a digital ID and social credit score, which would eventually lead to the MOTB. The Fed will initially limit its CBDC to interbank transactions, but we should not be blind to the obvious danger. This is what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says, that we should not be blind to the obvious danger that this is the first step in banning and seizing Bitcoin as the Treasury did with gold 90 years ago today in 1933. At least 114 countries are currently exploring CBDC developments according to the Atlantic Council. And I know on the Atlantic Council, they show you the countries that are working on these. This is what's tracking. These guys here are tracking the Atlantic Council Central Bank Digital Currency Tracker. These are the guys that are tracking all of the countries. They normally have a map here to show you. A central bank digital currency is the digital form of a country's fiat currency that is also a claim on the central banks instead of printing money. The central bank issues electronic coins or accounts backed by the full faith and credit of the government. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor. They normally have a, they're taking it down. They normally have a, they did have, they normally had a big global map that was showing you okay, maybe this probably comes up here. Click country to learn more. Probably take this time to come out. All right, no dramas. So Let's bring out a few scriptures. Yeah, man, the devil is he's on full. He's on full. He knows he's got about a short time. 2 Corinthians chapter 2. He knows, but he's got but a short time. Verse 11. It says, lest Satan, the adversary. This ain't talking about the spiritual angel saying. This is talking about Esau, Edom, the Edomites, the so-called Europeans, the so-called white man. He's the adversary of the Most High. He's the adversary of Israel, of the Israelites. It's Satan. His physical counterpart, which is the Edomites. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are what? For we are not ignorant of his devices. So the CBDC is the forerunner, is the backbone of his devices. That's what we see here. Right? It is the backbone of this man's MOTB is the CBDC. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, not at all. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 6, I believe I want. That's why Apostle Paul says here, the armor of the Most High. So we got to put on the armor of the Most High. Why? Because of this, Revelation 12. Because of Revelations 12 and 12. We got to put on the whole armor of the Most High. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having a great wrath. Why? Because he knows that he has but a short time. Let me just have a quick look to see what the other Bibles say on this. The NIV. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and you who dwell in them. But woe to the earth, to the sea, because the devil, the deceiver, Esau, Edom, the Edomites, this ain't talking about the spiritual angel Satan, has gone down to you. He is filled with fury. He truly is, because he, Esau, Edom, the Edomites, the elites, knows that his time is short. He truly does know that his time is short. Let's just read one more from here. The NET, which is the New English Translation. Therefore, you heavens, rejoice, and all that who reside in them. But woe to the earth, to the sea, because the devil has come down to you. He is filled with terrible anger. For he knows that he only has a little time. He is filled with terrible anger. The scripture I'm thinking of, and he says, is it Isaiah? That's Isaiah. I think it was Isaiah I'm thinking of. Maybe not. Maybe it's not Isaiah. I think it was scripture that's coming to mind. But woe to the earth, to the sea, because the devil has come down to you. He is filled with terrible anger, for he knows that he has but a little time. It's a very little time. This devil knows, mate. Let's just grab one more. That's going into the Greek. Be glad then, O heavens, and you who are in them. But there is trouble for the earth and the sea, because, you see, the evil one, who is the evil one? That's Esau, Edom. That's the Edomites. That's the elites of Esau. Because the evil one has come down to you, being very angry, having the knowledge that he has but a short time. Because he knows the road is up, the gig is up. So, if Apostle Paul says here, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. What's the wiles of the devil? Let's quickly look at the word wiles. Stand up against the wiles of the devil. The cunning arts, deceit, crafty, trickery. This is what this is. This is the, when you hear them, a CBC tied to digital ID and social credit score will allow the government to freeze your assets or limit your spending to approve vendors if you fail to comply with arbitrary diktats, i.e. the V mandates, right? The Fed will initially limit its CBDC to interbank transactions, like that means between one bank to another, so say between Barclays and HSBC, but we should not be blind to the obvious danger that this is the first step in banning and seizing your digital currencies, your Bitcoin if you have any, as the Treasury did with the gold 90 years ago, because they're going to get rid of all of that. They're going to take control of all of the crypto assets. At least 114 countries are currently exploring CBDC developments according to the Atlantic Council. So we should not be blind to what this devil is planning. Let's go back. Cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery. What did we read here? Be glad, O heavens, and you that are in them, but there is trouble for the earth and for the sea, because the evil one has come to you, being very angry, having the knowledge, as he knows, that he has but a short time. What do we read here? Lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are what? We are not ignorant of his devices, of the wiles of the devil, of his crafty arts, his deceit, his trickery. We are not ignorant. Satan devices, talking about Esau, Edom, the Edomites. The wiles of the devil, the trickery of Esau, the Edomites, the elites of them. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what we're fighting against. Spiritual wickedness in high places. Let's get this one. 1 Peter chapter 5. Chapter 5. Verse 8. Be sober and be vigilant. We've got to keep an eye on what's going on in the media, in the mainstream news. We don't take everything as gospel. We filter it through the scriptures. But we have to keep an eye on what's going on alternative news, mainstream news, social media. We have to. Because we're able to filter what's happening in the secular world, in the mainstream world, in the scriptures. We're able to pick the bones. So it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, Esau, Edom, the Edomites. This ain't talking about the spiritual angel Satan. As a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. That's what she's doing. She's walking around looking who she may devour. This is what the European Central Bank is doing. She's walking around, boy, seeing who she may devour with this digital currency. So they're getting the. So this year is going to be a true turning point in the prophecies of the scriptures, in the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. It's going to be a true turning point. We're going to see things that are going to truly escalate this year. So this old witch here, like I said, she's got it all planned out, laid out for Europe. And in probably places like Europe, America, China, Russia will probably be the first 4 places to properly implement the CBDC. And then for the MOTB the chip to come to follow up quite quickly afterwards. But just like she said there, she was saying, oh yeah, we have to be concerned about terrorists, she was saying, right? The devil said, what did she say? We have to be concerned about terrorists, she said, right? Where did she say that? She said something here about terrorists. Here. It says, we are considering whether for very small amounts, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we should have a mechanism where there is zero control, right? Where she was saying there is no control, but that could be dangerous, she said. Lagarde, recalling a previous terrorist attack in France that was believed to be financed by a rechargeable and anonymous credit card. So they're going to use those points of views, terrorism, 9/11. You know, they're going to, like I said, I believe they're going to create a new 9/11 event to push this thing properly. That's what the devil said. This is what she said in the call when she thought she was talking to Zelensky. She was revealing it all, mate. She was even laughing when he said to her, oh, you're so nice. He was, oh, you look so nice. He went to, she's ugly. She's a devil, man. She was all laughing and giggling, saying, oh, man, do I still look nice at this age? She's as ugly as they come, man. Come on, man. That's a witch of all witches. Trust me. Nice witch part. So we got to put on the whole armor of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for these devils. It's as simple as. We give one more. Psalm 64. We're just working in the spirit here. Psalm 64. Yeah. Psalm 64 verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, because she believed that she was taking that phone call, which was a prank call. She believed she was taking a call in secret with Vladimir Zelensky, but it was a prank call. It made her reveal what the European Union's digital euro, what they've got planned for the public in Europe about the control limits. So she thought she was having a private conversation with Vladimir Zelensky, but it was a prank caller that had her on the phone for 20 minutes and she spilled her guts. Frankie. She spilled her guts, Frankie. Because there's so many Italian mafia movies where they're spilling their guts. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune, they come together of the laying of snares privily. That's what she was doing. She thought she was having a secret conversation, talking about the snares and the traps of the digital euro that she's going to bring upon the European citizens. So she was communing with the prankster that was called her, that she thought was Vladimir Zelensky, the Ukrainian president she thought she was talking to. She thought she was talking in private. So they commune of laying snares privily. So she was telling them about all of the traps, the snares that we're going to have for the public with this new CBDC in Europe. They say, who shall see them? That's what she thought when she was on that phone call. Well, no one's going to know. I'm talking to Zelensky. Who shall see me? This is a private phone call. Who's going to find out about this? We're funding his war. We're paying the wages of his civil servants in Ukraine. Remember, Europe is paying the wages of the civil servants in Ukraine. They're funding the war alongside the Americans. So she figured, this is a secret, this is a private conversation. So they was encouraging themselves each other in an evil matter. Because he was asking questions, getting her to spill the beans. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both their inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Truly, And that's what they were doing. But they were found out. They were found out, boy. All praise to Yahweh Shimi Hawashai. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I just really wanted to bring that to the forefront, boy. She thought she was having a private conversation, boy, but nah. She spilt the beans on what she's got planned with the CBDC. So I pray you are edified by today's edification. The Europe Central Bank reveals digital euro CBDC will have control limits. They're going to control how you spend that money. And she told us, this is what we got planned for you. The devil told us, Esau told us. So, shalom, shalom, shalom. As always, Kal, Halal, Yechawa, Bahasham, Yehoshai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. That's giving all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, and His Son, Yehoshai, in the name of the Holy Spirit, in the Hebrew. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Great Millstone, our teachers, our leaders. Shalom to the hopeful elect brothers and sisters of the house of Israel. Yes, another cautionary tale and prophecy here that we're bringing to the forefront. All praises and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Truly, take note. She said October it should all be in place. She said by October it shall all be in place. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises.